It's a great day for wrestling, because we are wrestling with Story Time with Coleco. Coleco, do you want to tell us about your WrestleMania escapades?
Just quickly before, listeners, get yourselves a tasty adult beverage and buckle in, because you are not going to want to miss any of this.
And maybe a box of popcorn as well.
Alright, I'm going to preface all of this with parental discretion is advised. Alright, so we're going to, overall, I would say Dallas is a great city, but the problem is everything closes after midnight. Most of the time, you either have to go out the city or through the city. Now, there have been some people who may or may not been a strip club with Michael Irvin, and everybody's trying to get him an autograph where he just wanted a lap dance. But that's beside the point. We're going to talk about how I snuck into the famous WaleMania and got into VIP with the wrestlers. Actually, it all started. I wasn't going to even go to WaleMania because usually those things tend to be a clusterfuck, and yeah, this one I went to was indeed a clusterfuck. Okay, so let's preface it with that. But I also had my brother who was working the event. He jumped on last minute to work like security, and his job actually was a pretty good gig because he was the guy to get people to the stage, to get wrestlers to the stage. So he would get Omos to the stage, Jade Cargill to the stage, the Prophets to the stage, and so on and so forth, right?
Oh, did we lose Coleco?
To be continued.
Just when this was getting interesting.
Oh no, we are not gone yet, my man. So my brother's working that little gig. Now, I'll sit outside
and we lost
and chill and wait, and he can. No, you didn't. I'm right here. Tell me.
Yes, we're here. Okay.
There we go.
There you go.
All right. So where did y'all last hear off?
Getting to the stage.
Getting people
taking them
off the stage.
So that was his thing. That was his gig, right? So I'm thinking, okay, I'm just gonna sit in the car or go to a bar, have a couple beers, and chill, whatever, right? But then I ran into some good old friends of mine who said, "Oh yeah, we're going to WaleMania." I'm like, "Cool, I'll go to WaleMania. Fuck it, you're going, I'm going. My brother works there. We could go in there, do whatever, right?" So we get there. They give you the wristbands, right? So the problem was they gave me the wristbands before you got in with the ticket. So the problem was we couldn't get in because they were like, "You need a ticket, blah, 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 blah," whatever the case may be. Now, this is where the story gets interesting. Because as we walk to the back, you see security sitting there, right? They're arguing with any and everybody. You got to get in with a green badge or a green wristband, or you cannot go in the club. So you see JTG and all these rappers who's supposed to perform at the club starting fights with the people in the back. Literally starting fights with people in the back about trying to get in because they're on the performer. They're slated to perform, right? So I'm thinking, well, what the hell? How the hell is that all fucked up? Because it's WaleMania. And when it's WaleMania, everything is all fucked up. Not telling the wrestlers that they're supposed to go through the loading dock, which is a whole nother issue. But this is where your boy gets in. So in between at the back, which happens to be the House of Blues, there were two doors, and both were secured by security, right? But there was a third door that was unlocked, and no one even cared to bother to guard the door. So we tried to open the door, but we couldn't open it from the outside, but we needed a tool. My friend happened to have a beer can opener, Stone Cold Steve Austin bottle can opener. Shout out Stone Cold Steve Austin. So he jimmy rigs it to the point where he got his foot in the door. Gets his foot in the door. Gets the door open. The moment he opened that door, I shot through that door like, what was that wrestler name that fell through the goddamn wall?
Shockmaster.
Shockmaster. I shockmastered my ass through that door so goddamn hard. So we go, boom. All right, so now we're walking through the backstage, right? We're walking literally backstage. Everybody's looking at us like, who the fuck are these? This dude and these Australian cat and this Canadian walking in through the goddamn bar, right? So we get to the point where someone stops us. Hey, you're not supposed to be here. You're supposed to be on stage. What? I just tell them, hey, yeah, you're not supposed to be here. This is for people that only get on stage. So I tell them, oh no, security let me in. I'm just going to close my tab with me and my lads. To which he says, oh yeah, let me take you through the front entrance. So we go through the front entrance where this dude who was kicked wouldn't let us in the first time. He literally saw us as we were walking in the club downstairs to the floor, right? So we're at the floor, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool, whatever. But I see my brother bringing up the Street Profits, which is where you see them doing all their performances and stuff, and Omos and everybody else. So I'm like, oh, I text them. So I send him a text. Yo, we here. Get us backstage. So we get there. This is the fun part. So once again, another old security dude is arguing with another guy about getting backstage. All the time, he wouldn't let us backstage. But I see a photographer hop off the stage and go through another door. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to go through the other door. So we went through the other door. Right when we went through the other door, boom, I see my brother, right? We walked back behind the stage. We're literally at the curtain to where I could open it. And I see Wale, and he's got like the baddest bitches on the planet out there. And so I'm like, fuck it. All right, we got to keep going. So we get to the point where we are in VIP with wrestlers. So I'm talking Shane Taylor, Nash Carter, Wesley, all of them. LA Knight. Man, he had a bad one. Yep, way before the allegations came out. Gigi Dolan. It was a who's who. It was a who's who of who was out there on the wrestling scene, right? So, we get to VIP. Oh yeah, MVP was there. Hit Row was there. It was just the baddest time. So it's a cluster of VIP, and we're sitting there talking with them, chit chat, whatever the case may be. Nash Carter may or may not be with Gigi Dolan, because I've never seen a dude sit in the bathroom. You know how when you go to the club and there's that one dude sitting outside while she goes to the ladies' room?
What was he inside the ladies' room with her?
You're only doing that one or two reasons. That's either your best gay friend or you smashing her, right? So
in a move we call the Nash Smash.
Nash Smash. So in this case, we sitting up there. I'm buying MVP drinks. Everybody's trying to flip flop, and it's ghetto as hell because it's Wale and he's playing all bacon bit songs and shit. But it gets to the point where we see Gigi, right? And Gigi is sitting there, and she walks out with these shoes. And I'm like, and my homeboy was like, yeah, where'd you get the shoes from? Quote, I had to suck dick for the shoes. I was like, whoa. little too wild for my taste here. All right, so
I just have to. Do you think she was implying that she just sucked said dick, or it was like a general something that happened, days ago?
It had to have been that night because everybody was getting shoes that night. right? So, because at the time, Wale was also releasing shoes and shirts, and because he did a thing with Reebok where they were doing the whole
Yes,
clothing line thing.
the famous Reebok Air Force cocksuckers.
So I walk by LA Knight. Bad. He's chilling. He brings a bad chick. I'm like, damn. I didn't think I expect LA Knight to be at a hip hop concert. Then I see Cameron Grimes' country ass in there. And the first thing I see him, I take a picture and I yell, "We going to the moon!" You motherfucking right. So I'm sitting up there in wrestling heaven, Cedric Alexander and that bitch Jade Cargill. Everybody was kind of gushing over Jade because I guess she looks better in person than what the TV goes. So I tend to believe that. Omos out here rapping the fucking Jay-Z. And you hear him, he's busting out a freestyle rapping, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Hove. And I'm like, holy shit. And think of him in his voice. Hello, me. Sound like the Kid Matumbo out there singing, right? No. Yes, exactly. So it gets to the point where I've been sitting up there rapitating with all these wrestlers, and it's time to go. So I'm looking for my brother. Come to find out, my man then came up. He comes to me. He's like, "Yo, let's go." And I'm like, "Where we going?" So we leave. And all of a sudden, I see shoes. I see Reeboks. Snatch me a pair. Snatch me a Sasha Banks shirt. Snatch me a throwback China shirt. And we made off like bandits, son. My brother was bougie and he took the chips. I don't know why he would take a bag of Tostitos from the catering section at WaleMania.
But I was hungry, obviously. I'm hungry, man.
So, yeah, that's how that went. And I must say, it was an interesting experience. Other things that could happen that I have to say that happened off air, but that we could go over off air. But I'm trying to keep it as PG as I can. And that sucking dick for Reeboks thing kind of got as far as I'm going to get them. But yeah, and it was crazy. It's funny because that was like a couple days before the Nash incident happened, and he seemed like a cool kid, and it was all along. And he seemed okay. Cameron was okay. They're just like normal people at the club, just chilling. And that's the end of story time with Cody.
That's how do we do this?
But it's not me. You didn't take me a bath. Hey!
I just said that you were in front of Gigi Dolan and didn't ask her the Darby Allin question.
Well, it was more of the fact that I think everybody was kind of messing with her in a sense, because it's Gigi, so she's kind of like the it girl now, so everybody's kind of on her whatever, and I was just like, ah.
I mean, is she really the it girl? I mean, she's the next to the it girl.
Well, when you look at it from the standpoint of most people were with Jade.
Then doesn't that make Jade the it girl?
I mean, she was at that concert, but keep in mind, population predominantly black.
Fair enough. Alright.
Either way, I love pretty chicks.
Great story. Some dirt that we probably didn't know and that maybe we should know. So, great story, Coleco. Thank you. Okay. Obviously, we lost Coleco once again.
No, we haven't got to the point where I got the mania and got a chair again. We got so much stuff.
Alright.